In the vast regions of the African continent, where the earth hummed with ancient spirits and the winds whispered tales of old, there existed a realm where the Zulu people dwelled. The Zulu tribe spoke of a remarkable tale, a tale that carried the weight of creation itself. It was the story of the creation of man. In the beginning, before the world we see now existed, the earth was barren, a lifeless rock devoid of all forms of living creatures. But amidst that darkness dwelled a very powerful God. The Zulus called this God Umvelinqangi, the bringer of life. Umvelinqangi was so powerful that when he spoke, his voice was like thunder, and when he moved, even just a bit of himself, the whole world trembled before him. But despite all the power that Umvelinqangi possessed, he felt so lonely that he decided to create a new form of life in his image and in his likeness. But Umvelinqangi knew he would have to pay a price. He had with him a tiny precious seed he had kept since the beginning of time. This seed was the most precious of all his possessions. And so the seed he took, and onto the world he threw, and the seed sprouted into a very long reed upon the earth. The reeds continued to grow, and it formed a massive swamp of land north to the earth, a place the Zulus call Uhlanga. And at the ends of that reed grew a certain creature. At first this creature was very small, tiny and weak, but soon the creature started to grow thicker, stronger, heavier, mightier, braver, so strong that it teared off the reeds and broke free. The Zulus will come to call this creature Unkulunkulu. Unkulunkulu, which translates the first ancestor, the great of the greatest, the Almighty One. And when Umvelinqangi saw Unkulunkulu, he was pleased with his creation. So he said to Unkulunkulu, "You I have created in my image, so this world I give to you. Take control and take possession." And with that, Umvelinqangi departed into the realms of the gods. And with his newfound freedom, Unkulunkulu started to roam Uhlanga. He noticed certain creatures sprouting out from the reeds. He waited for them to break free just as he had broken free from the reeds. And yet he waited and waited and waited, and these creatures could not break free from the reeds. So Unkulunkulu had pity upon these creatures and set them free from the reeds. And these first creatures that Unkulunkulu set free from the reeds became the first humans on earth. So you see, it was from Uhlanga that the ancestors of the Zulu people journeyed down south to the fertile lands they inhabit today. Unkulunkulu was so powerful. His feet were like earthquakes, and earthquakes they were. When he walked, the earth broke, and water began to sprout out from the earth, some so big it formed the sea, the rivers, and streams. Unkulunkulu was enjoying his tour at Uhlanga. After setting the humans free, he also noticed other forms of life sprouting from the reeds. So he said to himself, "I shall set free all these creatures and fill them with the earth that has been given to me." And with that, Unkulunkulu began to set free all these creatures that the reeds had entangled. So he gathered the fishes and other forms of sea life and threw them into the sea. He also took a mighty ball of fire and a round glowing moon and flung them into the sky. They became the sun and the moon, providing light upon the world. Unkulunkulu also set free some wild beasts, poisonous snakes and fierce lions, and they too, they darted off into the wild. Do you know that Unkulunkulu even harvested some magical creatures? One of the magical creatures that Unkulunkulu harvested from the reeds is the snake-like river goddess Mamlambo. The Zulus believe that Mamlambo drowns people, eats their face and crush their skulls. Her story sounds scary, doesn't it? But it would amaze you when you hear her story. And her story is a story I'll definitely share with you on this channel. So if you are already enjoying the Zulu story of creation, subscribe to this channel for more interesting African myth, interesting African tales, and interesting African history. Now back to our story. Unkulunkulu was really enjoying his time at Uhlanga, but he came to a realization that he could not dwell amongst the humans nor the creatures he had set free at Uhlanga. He was so powerful, after all he was a god, so he decided to leave to the realms of the gods. But before Unkulunkulu would depart the earth, he decided to grace the humans with one final act of mercy. He had put in the humans at the top of all the creatures that he had set free from Uhlanga. So Unkulunkulu called upon the chameleon and said, I want you to deliver a message to the humans. And the chameleon said, send me Unkulunkulu and I shall deliver your message. So Unkulunkulu gave his message to the chameleon, and the chameleon departed. But this chameleon was very slow and lazy in his journey. That Unkulunkulu waited and waited, and the chameleon never got to the destination of the humans. So in his impatience, Unkulunkulu called upon another lizard and said, I really want to entrust you with my message. Can you deliver it to the humans? And this lizard said, send me Unkulunkulu and I'll deliver your message. And truly, this lizard was very swift and fast in his journey. He immediately got to the abodes of the humans and said, Unkulunkulu has sent me to deliver a message, and his message goes, all humans must die. But Unkulunkulu's message was not that. Unkulunkulu's message was, all humans must not die. It seems this lizard was very fast, but his ears were as hard as a rock. He listened with one ear and the message fell right through the other ear. And so from that moment onwards, the humans became subjected to the snare of death, and there was nothing Unkulunkulu could do to stop this tragedy. But I mean, whom do we blame? The lazy chameleon, or the lizard who didn't listen? Or perhaps Unkulunkulu, who could have delivered such an important message himself, but chose to leave the message to his creatures? So from that time, humans at Uhlanga started to die. Unkulunkulu put the humans in charge and he departed into the realms of the gods. And this people is the Zulu story of creation that tells of the birth of the humans and the creation of this world. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you really enjoyed listening to the Zulu story of creation, then please subscribe to this channel for more interesting African stories, which I'll be sharing here with you. My name is Konedu, and I really appreciate that you stayed with me to the end of this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.